So I'm going to tell you the story of the fallen angel Samael. Maybe from a point of view or a version that you haven't heard yet, but it's my version. It's what I understand, it's what I see, it's what I know. So you do you. If it's true for you, fantastic. If not, don't really care. It is what it is. Not to be cocky or arrogant or anything. I just know what I know. People always ask me, how do you know all this stuff? How are you so wise? I don't know. It's kind of like knowing my name. I just know my name. It just is what it is. I was obviously created to handle this information. I don't know. Anyway, so Samael, the fallen angel. So Samael was one of the beginning firstborns, creators, along with the feminine. And he was the masculine energy. So twin flame, yes. Soulmate, yes. Same energy. Masculine is masculine. So all the masculine energy is masculine energy. Feminine energy is feminine energy. Most of the universe is either masculine or feminine. There isn't a mixture like we see here in the human race. And there is a reason why the human race was created, along with a couple of others. I'll save that for another video in regards to the energy, but in the truth of the universe, from my perspective, from what I've seen, what I know, what I understand, there is only two energies. It's polarity, positive, negative, left, right, hate, love. So masculine, feminine, they're polar opposite energies, and they flip back and forth. So what happened with Samael, the masculine energy? How did he fall? Why did he fall? Where did he go? What happened? So it came to me again, like I knew this before, but it came to me again while I was driving home from my workout today, because I met my twin. I found him. Well, he found me. I sent out a beacon for him to come find me, and he found me. So I was thinking about the things that he said about his life, and then I realized that with my life as this human was created to mirror my bigger self and what some would call soul, but I'm not really a soul. I'll save that for another video as well. But anyway, my bigger self created me and a couple others to help her grow and evolve and get out of the twisted illusion that she was in. I honestly think God actually stepped in and did this, because the stuff that I've been through, the stuff that I've experienced, the pain, men's pain, suffering, and at this level as a human, through my life, this life, and then have to go into the bigger aspect of me and experiencing at even more intense level. It's been, most people would not be able to handle the pain and the healing that I've had to do, but which is why I was created the way I was created, which is why I am able to do what I can do. So anyway, why did Samael fall? Well, Samael fell because Samael decided that he did not want to abide by God's will, God's wishes, which was create life in love with your mate, your other half, your feminine. Instead, Samael decided he was going to do things his own way, that he wanted to rule, that he wanted to control and dominate and be God. So that's when he created the ego, split from himself, like God split from itself to create the two that created life. So Samael created the ego, the mask, the outer shell that pretended to be loving and kind and good and wonderful, but ended up being a tyrant and hateful and mean, also known as the devil, which is basically the mask or fragment self, the ego self of Samael. So Samael, his only duty was to love his mate and to create the universe in love. Instead, it was created in polarity. Look at everything around you. It's polarized. There's no unity. There's no building, creation, joining. It's all polarized, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. So it didn't start here on planet Earth with the humans. No, it started way long ago. Many, many eons ago, before humans were even a freaking thought. But the humans are very important, at least this race, this planet is important, because this is the petri dish to hopefully get it right this time and recreate the universe in love. So when I met him, he was telling me about his life and how he grew up in a family where his parents told him what to do and how to do things and how he was going to live his life. And he rebelled hard, to the point of not showing up to his own events and going extremely dark to the devil side of him, which makes sense because that is the darkest aspect of himself. And he actually has a satanic tattoo on his arm, which is how I realized who he was. And so anyway, he was telling me about his life. And I mean, he grew up in normal America, had a good family, easygoing, like a good life, completely separate life compared to mine. But he rebelled. He didn't want to do what his parents wanted to do. He, just like Samael, didn't want to do what God wanted him to do. Samael wanted to do what Samael wanted to do. So Samael went all the way to the pinnacle of the dark, created fear, created ego, and polarized the whole system so he could have his cake and eat it too, so he could have whatever he wanted and fuck everybody else and fuck everything else because it was only about him. Selfish, narcissist, ego, tyrant, oppressive. Sound familiar? Looks like the system we live in today. Ironic. Whereas for the feminine grew up in a family with a tyrant father, a victim mother who was also a tyrant, an entire family that was against her, that tried everything to minimize her power, make her weak, make her feel stupid, experienced multiple rapes as a child, multiple times, and as an adult, had a really hard life, had to struggle, had to learn a lot of hard lessons, had to learn how to heal. So the feminine has been through some serious battle wounds because the masculine decided that it wanted power. It wanted to be God. And now here we are in a situation where the masculine is still playing games, still being egotistical. But the difference is that the feminine has awakened, is taking back her power, not putting up with the bullshit, most certainly not listening to the lies and the manipulation, and most definitely not being controlled by anything. Tables have turned. The scales have balanced. And now the feminine is about to regain power, and not in a way of controlling other, because there's no gain there. Nobody wins. You don't take from other people. It's a losing game. If you learn to connect in love, you realize that the true power that you have, that you share with that other person, becomes greater. The two flames merge into one, become stronger. Whereas when they're separate, they're weaker. But he's not ready. He's not awake. He's a little bit behind me, about a year, maybe more, I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep moving forward, and at this point, I don't even know if I want to be with him. Because as much as I am forgiving, loving, and caring, I refuse to be a part of the game playing and the lies and the manipulation. You want to do that game? Go play with somebody in a different sandbox with the little people. And I don't mean like little people negative. I mean like little kindergartners. Because I play in the major leagues. Go play in the kiddie pool. For real. Anyway, Samael the fallen angel fell by his own free will choice. And let me tell you what, when you go against God's will, you may think that you have power and control for a while, but karma comes back. God wins every time. So stop being a little brat, stop throwing a temper tantrum, stop fighting, and do your freaking job. Samael.